making great work is only about 30% of the equation of really building your career. And the other 70% is getting that work out in front of other people.
Welcome to another episode of Bench Talk. I'm your host, Tom Gerard. This week, I've got another episode with Claire Bradshaw from the Art Career Academy, and we're going to delve into another topic related to an artist's career and their journey. So the subject we're going to delve into today is the 3 pillars of artist visibility. So it's more like how artists get seen out there, how they get discovered, and, ways of going about that for an artist. So great to have you on the podcast again, Claire. Welcome back.
Thanks so much for having me.
No worries. Did you want to kick it off?
Yeah, so we're talking about artist visibility, and this is something that, a lot of artists find challenging, yeah? But here's the thing that a lot of artists aren't aware of is that making great work is only about 30% of the equation of really building your career. And the other 70% is getting that work out in front of other people. So a lot of artists, they're spinning their wheels because they're focused only on one piece of the visibility puzzle, right? And then they're ignoring these other 2 parts. So we're going to go through the 3 pillars here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to break down these 3 pillars today and help you to get more noticed by whether it's galleries you're wanting to be noticed by, whether it's collectors, buyers, and really building your profile as an artist. And so there's these 3 pillars that we're going to be going through, the first of which is your online presence. The second one is relationships. And the third one is opportunities. So I'm going to kick these off, and then Tom and I are going to kind of riff on both of these and look at it from Tom's, career perspective as well. So online presence is the first pillar. And so a lot of artists think that this means posting on Instagram every day or dancing for the algorithm. But really, your online presence as an artist, Instagram is just one part of this. It's really just scratching the surface. There's lots of other ways in which you're wanting to increase your online presence. Is that not right, Tom?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I really find that there's this Googleable, the Google tests that we were talking about earlier is a big part of how to grow your art career, and making sure that when people type your name into Google and looking for your artwork, it's not just Instagram that's coming up with. It's with galleries who are representing you and posting about your artwork, and then other articles and ways of getting your artwork out there that's beyond just social media. And also the website plays a big role as well. And I feel that it's always good just to put your best work out there, and not give all your time to social media, and not think that's the only one. What do you think, Claire?
Yeah. So, I know that for yourself, your website
Yeah.
has been a huge part of you building up your online presence. That combined with, the media mentions, because you've been so active, you've got into different online magazines, you've been in different exhibitions, things like that. And all of that is increasing the online presence of you when someone goes to Google you. Something that I know that you talk about a lot in our program is the importance of the website as an artist. And, a lot of people have just focused purely on Instagram to build up their profile, but your website represents a real professional place to display your work, to build credibility and authority of you as an artist, and obviously gives you a lot more space in which to tell the story about who you are as an artist.
Yeah, totally. I find as well that I get better leads through my website than I do through social media. I might sell a print or so, and make smaller sales through social media, but the big projects that come to me, and larger purchases, and exhibiting opportunities and things like that, that all comes through my website. So I think it's really good to have a professional website. And it's so easy to do these days. There's so many platforms that are, drag and drop and build it yourself. It's yeah, I think that every artist should have a good website, really. It's
Yeah.
yeah, and also putting your best work out there as well, I find is a really big, yeah, it's really important to sort of audit what you're putting out there because as we know, people only people employ you to do what they've seen you do in the past. And it also with commissions and that, a lot of that, people like look at what you've done in the past and just ask you to recreate that. So I find that if you got stuff out there that's not really your best work or things that you don't want to continue creating, it's good to, clean them up and get them off your social media, get them off your website and make sure that everything's really up to date.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important. And I know that you, Tom, you've had times in your career where you haven't necessarily done that cleanup, and then you've had people approach you wanting you to replicate work that you did years ago, and that doesn't really necessarily resonate with the artist you are today. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's a real pain actually. I feel like, you know, we we're constantly evolving as artists, and you go through different stages of life, and things change, and it's hard to tap into that previous version of yourself. And I've had artworks that might be 5 years old that are sitting on my social media or on my website, and people have referenced them, say, "Oh, I'd love something like this," and it's like I don't even paint like that anymore. And you take the job on and you're trying to tap into this older version of yourself, and it can be quite torturous and hard to do. And so I make a bit of a rule of thumb just to make sure that there's nothing that I don't want to create going forward out there that's visible on either of those platforms. So yeah, it's just I think it's a very important thing to do. And also if there are things that you want to be creating but that you haven't got the opportunity to do it, I think just create that opportunity yourself to, or paint in that style, even if it's not going to be for anything, but just to be able to put it out there to show that that's a style that you can work in and an arm of your creativity you want to explore. And people will come to you and in time and start requesting that. Like I've experienced that through, you know, like I started moving into landscapes and things like that a few years ago. And I remember at the time just thinking, no one's going to want this and people are going to think it's quite weird. And I kept it to myself for a while, but then started to slowly put it out there. And now I get, requests to paint in that style, and I love it. It's, yeah, but it's quite different to what I'm known for.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, totally.
mm,
And I think, that's the power of, the online space. And, Instagram obviously plays a huge role in this, which is, what you're putting out there into the market. That's what people are going to see you as, and so then work is going to come from that place. So just ensuring that you're curating your feed to represent what you are, wanting more of and where you're wanting to head. And that's why, having clarity over who you are as an artist, what your style is, and where you're wanting to go and what opportunities you're wanting to attract. It's really important, because otherwise you can find yourself kind of um, getting opportunities that aren't really aligned with where you're wanting to head. So just being really intentional about all of that. And I just wanted to add, for some artists who maybe towards the beginning of their career, they may actually like be shying away from any online presence. Yeah. So they may not be posting on Instagram. They may not be, creating a website. And and we have spoken a little bit about this a few episodes ago around, hiding away from being seen. And the challenge is if you have the talent, you are creating artworks, but you're not showing that work, it's going to be very, very challenging to build a career. And so you need to find out ways in which you can start to share what it is that you do in the world. And sometimes they're just like little steps that you need to take. But basically, if you're not showing your work, then people don't have the opportunity to see what you're about and to buy your work and give you
mm.
opportunities.
Yeah, I fully agree. And it's like it's a noisy market. There's a lot of artists out there, lots of galleries, lots happening. So you even if you feel like you're posting quite regularly and putting stuff out there, it's, it takes a while to really gain traction. So like if you are reluctant to do that, the earlier you get started, the better it is. And you can always, as we said, you just go back and clean up the old stuff and,
Yeah.
delete it off there and keep moving forward and making sure that your best stuff's out there.
100%, because I
Mm.
think, just tapping on to what you just said, Tom, a lot of people hold back from, putting their stuff out there. Partly it can be, I'm not ready yet. Other time it can be like the perfectionist, like when my art is a particular level, then I'll start to share it. But as you said, it's sort of like all that time of, you practicing and taking people on the journey. Then, you're going to have to start from scratch in your online presence years down the track until you're actually ready. It's better to just start and then delete as you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I first, started pursuing my art career, I Googled myself and there was another artist with my name, with Tom Gerard, but he's, from years ago. And, yeah, I thought, oh, I've got to compete with this other artist now. And, over time, like he's quite far down the list now because I've been active in sharing my work online. So, yeah, and it's also if you are competing with someone with a similar name, it's pretty it's good to put yourself out there with like maybe artist at the end or something along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Mm.
kind of SEO side of things is really helpful. Hey, artist, it's Claire here from the Art Career Academy. If you've been creating for years and you know it's time to go all in on your art career, then Tom and I are here to support you. If you're ready to grow your visibility, build more consistent income, and step fully into life as a professional artist, that's exactly what we help with. Our signature program, Going Pro, is designed for artists who are ready to uplevel. We support you with the clarity, confidence, and a solid plan to turn your creative practice into a thriving career, without the burnout or second guessing every move. At the Art Career Academy, we're all about raising up the art community and showing what's possible when artists back themselves. So to get started, grab our free creative cash flow cheat sheet. It's packed with 20 tried and tested ways to make an income from your art. Head to artcareeracademy.com to download it now. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Let's move on to pillar 2. So this is all about relationships. And, the problem that we see out there is that a lot of artists either network desperately. So they're like writing spammy DMs or they're cold emailing everyone. They're, approaching galleries with an expectation of getting into the gallery straight away on their first meeting with the gallerist. Or they're shying away from networking entirely, because they feel kind of spammy or salesy or just weird and awkward about the whole situation.
Mm.
So, Tom, tell me, what your thoughts are on this.
Yeah, I just think it's a sensitive relationship, especially with the gallery space. But I don't know, it's important that you're putting yourself out there in the right way. And as you said, if you like feel like you're spamming people or you're being too forward, and I don't know, I feel like relationships within the art world. So say with curators, collectors, gallerists, project managers, all this type of stuff, other artists. It's good just to be cool, calm, and confident. Even if you're not, even if you're trembling on the inside, you got sweaty palms, and you're like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this." But just try to calm yourself down and be approachable, because think about it, someone else approaching you and how you want them to be. Yeah, because I've experienced a wide range of dealings with different people, and I've had some people forcing me to share their work on social media, and or not forcing me, but like asking me, you know, things like that, and and also galleries and all that. You've got to go slow and build relationships if you want to work with them, and not just come on too strong and be forceful or anything like that. Like relationships are important, because what you're really doing is as you're building relationships, you want to be someone that those people want to work with, really, because it might be like you're the best artist they've ever seen, and all that, but if you're not building a good relationship with them, and they're like, you know what, love the art, but I'm not that much of a fan of the individual, then they're going to cross you off the list and not want to work with you. So it's it's good to be patient and calm, but also don't shy away from opportunities as well. Like take the steps forward, be confident in that way as well. What do you think, Claire?
Yeah, I agree. I think, there's a great analogy around this is that, if you're going on a date with someone, if you meet the person for the first time and then you launch into the kiss, it's like, whoa, it makes you kind of like lean back, not forwards. Yeah. And so no one wants someone to come on too strong initially without having built up a relationship, having built up trust and familiarity. Yeah, and that's how relationships are built. So it's a very similar thing when it comes to building up your art career and the relationships that you have with gallerists and curators and collectors and fellow artists, is that it's like it's taking it slowly. And I think the other aspect of this and why often it can become very awkward in terms of like making the start of these relationships and starting to go into galleries and starting to build relationships with gallerists and things like that is because often we go about it from the perspective of, I want a specific outcome from this. And as soon as we have an expectation of an outcome, we've gone outside of ourselves and we go all awkward in terms of the words that come out of our mouths, the way that we feel in our body. And so the more you can come about it from the perspective of like, I'm genuinely interested and I'm curious and I'd love to build a better relationship with this gallery because I love it. And if you come from that place, the energy that you speak from is attractive
Mm.
and great things come from that place. So I would focus on what makes you excited about this gallery or this artist and speak from that place without needing anything in return, knowing that you're taking steps to build relationships. And the more you can let go of the outcome, the better the outcome will be.
Exactly.
I think just one other thing, just related to that as well is like, just be wary. And you probably notice this for yourself as well. You can smell when someone is only reaching out to you because they want something. And you can feel it when there is this networking that is a transactional basis, as and that's why I think a lot of us shy away from networking. I know that that's my perception. Used to be networking is like, oh, I have to be someone I'm not, or I have to kind of get some sort of result. And the more you can just like let go of all of that, the better things will be, both for how you feel and you want to do more of it, but also the results that you will achieve over time. People start to go, oh, yeah, I know that artist, such a good guy or such a great person. So, and that's how you want to be seen in the market.
Mm. Yeah. Also, if people are a fan of not just your work but you as a person as well,
Mm.
they will say you've got to meet so and so. Check out their work, but oh, they're a great person, and getting a cosign from people about your personality, like above your art, is like it's quite a powerful thing to have within the art world, and people gravitate to that. It's good. Yeah. All right. What do you
Awesome.
want
All
to
right. Let's
third
get
pillar?
on to the final pillar. So, this is all
Yeah.
about opportunities. So, the
Mm.
problem we see out there is that artists wait to be discovered, or they only apply for the big opportunities and kind of ignore all this kind of low hanging fruits, all these other opportunities that are around there. And they're maybe not creating their own opportunities. So, kind of waiting for things to land on their lap.
Mm.
What do you think, Tom?
Yeah. I think I've seen this hold a lot of people back. Like they want to have their first solo show or even their first group show, but they want it to be in a top tier gallery, and it just doesn't seem to happen that way. From what I've seen, I've seen some people jump the queue and go straight in there, but it's very rare that something like that will happen. Um, so like my recommendation is initiate things, really. Get some friends together or do it yourself, but think about what it is you want to be doing. And instead of waiting for the opportunity to happen, just make those, like, create opportunities yourself. Like, say you want to exhibit your work, but you're not getting any traction in that area, then there's rooms for hire in every city on earth, I'm sure. Find somewhere to exhibit your work, find and create that opportunity yourself, or get some friends together and have a group show, or something along those lines. And as you start building in that way, that's when you've got something to show that you've proven that that's something that you do, and then that will help open up opportunities for you. What do you
Yeah,
think,
for
Claire?
sure.
Mm,
For sure. And, like, you don't need to do it all on your own. Like you were saying, it's like, I team up with a few artist mates and run it
mm,
together so that you're spreading the workload. And also, by having more people who are exhibiting together, you'll get more people in the door. You'll be able to get great photos. All of these things really help, because then you can use all of that through your socials and really raise your credibility and your authority within the market as a professional artist. Um,
exactly.
the the other thing is, obviously there are loads of opportunities that are existing that are out there. So things like, responding to open calls, exhibitions, whether there be some group exhibitions that you can apply for, or art fairs or grants, residencies, press features. Like, there's a lot of things that are existing out there that involve some work from yourself to find them and to apply for them. But, you can really kind of leverage on their networks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like, as I was saying to you earlier, Claire, like, a lot of the opportunities that I got came from me just going out there and doing them first. So, for instance, I really wanted to get into exhibiting my work, but I wasn't, the opportunities weren't coming. So the first few exhibitions I was part of were all, just friends getting together and doing something. Like my first ever exhibition was in London, and it was Finders Keepers exhibition, and there was a bunch of artists who were all in the same boat. No galleries would show us, so we had put on our own exhibition on the street in a vacant milk bar that was all boarded up, and we just hammered all our artwork, hammered nails in, and hung all our artwork up, and had a street party. And it was really successful, and it actually launched a lot of artists' careers off the back of that. Like I remember, one artist notable for it is like D-Face, and he was one of the organizers of it. And he's got a massive art career now, and that was one of the first exhibitions he ever had. And then also same with murals. Like I love painting murals, and I wanted to generate like paid mural opportunities, but I didn't really have that many mural walls to show. I just had other stuff that I've been painting. But yeah, so I just went out and got myself a bunch of walls, just found places to paint and painted them and documented it, and then had something to show for it. And then through that got paid mural opportunities. So yeah, it's instead of waiting for something to land in your lap, like be proactive and think about what it is you want to be doing and go and do it, really. You know.
Yeah,
Mm,
100%. It's like that waiting game is a trap because, we're just delaying the opportunity of people seeing our work and building your career basically.
mm.
So, what are the things that you can personally do to start to build more visibility? What opportunities can you create, and what opportunities can you apply for? And the other kind of aspect of this is, what we see out there is that, like, yeah, of course, when you're applying for things or you're asking for things, you will get rejections. It's part of, running your own art business, is that, some things work out and some things don't. And the thing that we see out there is that, a lot of artists get really disappointed when they get the rejections, and then they make a story about what that means about them and the opportunity for them in creating a career. And the thing is that by knowing that rejections are going to happen, and that every no is getting you closer to a yes, and that everyone is in the same boat, and that it's through continuing to keep going, that is where you're going to find the success.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I 100% agree with you there, Claire. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Tom, was there anything else that you wanted to say on this?
Not really. I think we've covered most of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. So these are the three pillars of visibility. So the first one is your online presence. So this gives people the opportunity to notice you out there in the world, right? Because obviously we've got this incredible global world that can see our work online. And the second one is relationships. And this is where we can turn strangers into collectors or champions of our work. Yeah. And so obviously that's an over time kind of aspect. And then opportunities. These give you reasons to stay top of mind and be active and purposeful in your creations. And really, all of these three, they work together and they amplify one another. That's the compounding effect of when you continue to do something over a period of time and you bring all of these three together, that's where you start to see the results. And it doesn't happen in 1 week, it doesn't happen in 1 month, it happens over a period of time. And then from there, things start to kind of escalate quicker. All
Yeah.
right. So,
Momentum builds.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly. So, if you want to delve deeper into creating your own visibility strategy, we have put together a free guide that breaks down exactly how our artist community are getting seen by gallerists and also by collectors. And we have real examples in there of what's working right now. So, if you want to grab that, then you can download it. You'll find the link below in the notes section. But I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for having me on.
No worries. Yeah, thanks again for joining us, Claire. I love these conversations. We delve deep into, I don't know, so many subjects here, and I just feel like art is a never-ending a subject that you can just never run out of things to talk about. So, yeah, I love having these deep dives with you.